Okay, the camera's rolling now, so
Ready?
You're ready.
I'm so pumped.
Are you gonna have bloopers at the
You're
end?
gonna look directly into the camera.
Got
Are you
it.
gonna have
when you
bloopers at
start
the
it.
end?
Hello. Welcome to Talk with Doc. I'm your host, Madison Dawkins, and today we have a very special guest, my cousin, Sashagoharder. Sasha and I have been lucky to go to school together for the past 4 years, and just to give you a sense of who she is as a person, Sasha was 30 minutes late to filming today, filming in our own home, and she was home the whole time. So, welcome, Sasha.
Hey, what's up?
Sasha, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. So today we're going to just talk about your experiences, life experience. Let's highlight college.
Okay.
You have been one of the most interesting people I have come across in my life. Mm-hmm. So we just want to kind of get a look into the inner workings of your mind. So what's a typical day in the life of Sasha?
Okay. So most days I don't really have class, but like when I do, I wake up 30 minutes before class starts, change, and then walk to class, and then eat like a meal or two, and then decide whether or not I want to go to the next classes, because they kind of suck. So then I decide what if I'm going to do that, and then I go home and hang out with my friends for like the rest of the day, and yeah.
What do you typically do with your friends?
Am I allowed to say that?
You can say whatever you want.
And we watch really interesting shows, like pretty much like anything that has to do with like adult animation is like my favorite thing to watch.
Okay, switching gears.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of your passions.
Yeah.
You've recently made a name for yourself in the DJing world.
Yeah.
You've had a very great rap career, Sashagoharder. So let's talk about that. How did you get into those kind of things? Who are your audience? What are you trying to do with it?
Okay, so I got into DJing pretty much sophomore year, like summer. It happened when actually I was chilling in bed one day, and one of my friends texted me and was like, "Hey, I just recorded this in my bathroom. Let me know if I sound good." And mind you, I had said to this friend specifically, like, I heard her hum a tune one time, but I was like, "Yo, like, you can sing." And she goes, "Nah, I can't." And I'm like, "No, you 100% can't. Like, there's just no shot. You can't." But like, it would just get brushed under the rug all the time because she was like pretty embarrassed about it, whatever. So she sends me this clip and I listened to it, and it was the most angelic voice I've ever heard. And I'm like, this whole time you could sing, like, that's unbelievable. And she goes, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna start making music and like writing and all that stuff." And I was like, God knows I can't sing. Everyone knows I can't sing. But I could rap like okay. So my other friends like kind of started getting into music, and then I realized that I didn't really have that much of a favorable voice in any of those categories. So I was like, let me just do something where my voice doesn't really matter. So I decided to DJ. I bought my first pair of decks like with my first internship check. Yeah, and then I started like practicing, and then I kind of got bored. So I like didn't practice as much, but then people started like asking me to DJ events and stuff, and I realized that there's actually a decent bit of like money in that. So I was just like, why not? And I made a lot of friends along the way, and people think I'm cool because I do it, but honestly I just like press play because like, not saying that you have to drink while you're DJing, but it makes the experience a lot more manageable when drunk white girls, girls of all colors walk up to you and ask you to play Mr. Brightside or like Mo Bamba, and it's like, or some random Latin song that you've never heard of in your life, but they're so adamant on you playing it, and so you kind of just go listen to it and like go with it like as the night goes on.
You've talked about how DJing has allowed you to meet a ton of new people. Talking about your friends, what are some of the craziest experiences you guys have had on campus? What are 3 things that really stand out in your mind?
Me and my friend were coming home from one night that I was DJing, and it was about like 2:30 a.m. And we sit down on the couch to smoke, and we get some frozen food. That's my thing. After a night of drinking, I love going to the grocery store because the grocery store is 24 hours for the people who don't know that. and we go get frozen meals. I've never had a frozen meal until last year.
And it changed your life.
It changed my life. It's so fun.
It's the little things in life.
Yes. You just spice it up a little bit, add some seasonings and hot sauce, and you're chilling.
You gotta watch out. Some have high sodium content.
It's okay for now.
Okay.
Because we're young.
We are young and
young.
active for the most part.
Yeah.
We used to be.
Yes. And we come home and I go to warm up the food, and I hear the most gruesome screaming ever, right? Gruesome.
Blood curdling.
Blood curdling. And I'm like, yo, do you hear that? To my friend. And she's like, yeah. And I go to her and I'm like, I think that's the screams that our roommates were talking about earlier that morning.
Which they were.
And so I took action immediately. Actually, no, I didn't. After saying, I'm going to call the police 15 times, I finally did. And
you were just warming yourself up.
Yeah.
Gotta take your time.
And then they came.
Not for the woman.
More roommates came down, were aware of the situation. Then the police literally broke into the front door of the house, found out the girl was up there and she was screaming about losing her job and some boyfriend issues, but we only found that out because my friend's dad was an ex-pen cop. So it turned out that she was just having a manic episode, and that the man's name, George, who she was yelling out, was not a killer. In fact, he was either her friend or boyfriend. No one really knows, but I hope all is well with that woman. And she scared the living out of me. Oh, bleep that.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah. she scared me. She scared everyone in this house, and it was a lot of a lot going on. I've had I'm trying to think of like the last experience that I could think of.
So what is your story?
So for some reason, I was obsessed with boogie boarding while we were there. Like something in my head was like, you need to boogie board every day. And I could only convince a few people to do it with me every day, but I did.
I didn't do it once.
Yeah, but one day I got a lot of people to do it, right? And we're having a great time. And the waves are like not big on the resort that we were staying on at. And we were like, wow, like these are really manageable. Like sometimes they're fun, like 30% of the time. And I was like, okay. All of a sudden this big wave comes up. And me and my friend were about to go ride the wave with our boogie boards.
Goodbye.
And it turns out that as it comes closer, it like gets a little bigger than we expected. But I was like, wow, like obviously like when you're drunk, you think you're invincible. So I was like, I'm not a p***, I'm going to do this. And so I do it. And she backs out at the last minute. So I'm doing it by myself. And I'm like, wow, like this is going to be so fun. Literally, I didn't last like a half second. The wave came and it just immediately flopped me. It threw me to the bottom. It threw me to the literal bottom of the seafloor. I hit my head. I came back up and I was like, oh wow, like.
Another wave came.
Oh,
okay.
It wasn't. I was underwater for a while. They were kind of worried about me, but it was okay because the boogie board thing was attached to my ankle. So it just kind of like popped me back up. And so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, I feel like I suffered a minor concussion from that. I didn't really have that much fun at the clubs that night because the music was hurting my head. And after I came out of the water, everyone who was on the beach, like the older people, were like worried that I was not okay. There was like 5 concerned elderly people, but I was okay. So,
and you lived to tell the tale.
I did live to tell the tale.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some would you rathers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Would you rather take care of an old person or a baby?
Baby.
Why?
Because babies smell like Cheerios and old people smell like not Cheerios.
Very good answer. Would you rather have to watch your parents have sex every day or join once to make it stop?
I'd watch them every day.
Amazing.
And I don't need an explanation for that one.
You simply do not. That's very, very fair. Would you rather create a new strain of weed or be the best DJ in San Francisco?
Best DJ in San Francisco. The weed thing would be cool, but I don't think that...
People are really credited for their weed strains.
Yeah, plus I would make a lot more money being a DJ.
That you know of.
Yeah,
Those
like
cartels go hard.
Like a well-known DJ. Yeah, but then if I create my own strain, that doesn't mean that I have a whole bunch of the plants, and that doesn't mean that I would immediately monetize off my strain.
That is true.
But
I think
if
you're doing a great
became
option.
a renowned DJ, then I could
Use
be
that
like,
platform.
Hey, here's my strain. And
Exactly.
snap.
It's all about the platform.
snap.
We have a question from a guest in the audience. Yes?
If you had a weed strain, what would you call it?
It was, if you had a weed strain, what would you call it?
I would call it Sashagoharder.
And that concludes the segment, folks. Thank you all for tuning in to our very first episode of Talk with Doc. It will be airing every Sunday with a new guest, a new experience. We'll be switching it up. So please tune in. Please subscribe below. I've always wanted to do that. Not that I've had a reason to in my life before right now. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you to our lovely Sashagoharder, streamer on SoundCloud, if she has one.
Follow me on Instagram, sasha.stevens with a PH, not a V.